Hi, it's Carrie from KDS Insurance Services, and today is Tuesday, August the 17th, and I am coming to you today to talk to you about what's called landlord insurance or dwelling fire insurance. And again, please excuse my video if it's a little off everywhere. I am manually trying to film, but I didn't want to miss this video today so we could get back on track for 2 videos a week. So anyways, we're talking today about dwelling fire insurance. And dwelling fire insurance is when you own a building, a dwelling. It can be a condo, it can be a home, it can be a mobile home, it can be any sort of permanent dwelling that you actually own and then rent out to an individual. So you're insuring the actual building, and that's your property. And it's important that when you insure these properties, of course, it's always up to you, but to get replacement costs. And we've talked about that before and why it's important to have replacement costs. The difference is if you don't have replacement costs, then you're going to have actual cash value. And actual cash value is depreciated. So your values are depreciated. When the insurance company goes through the claims process and they write you a check, they depreciate a certain amount off of what they're going to give you because you don't have replacement costs. So replacement cost is like buying new, and actual cash value is buying depreciated, where you'd have to go and you wouldn't be able to get the money that you needed to go buy brand new. It's basically what it means. So you want to ask about that. You want to ask your agent about replacement cost if that's what you want. A lot of policies make it available to you as an option, and that's important. All of my carriers, which I have over 40 carriers in the property market, overall I have 40 carriers, and we have, 20, 25 different property carriers that we use. So it's important to ask those questions if that's what you want. Your agent should be asking you, but a lot of agents don't ask those questions. And so it is an important piece, of the puzzle when you're insuring a property that you're renting out. So you're a landlord. Another important piece of that puzzle as a landlord is the liability insurance that comes in that policy. Liability insurance is what protects you in this case. So if something happens at that location and you as the owner of the building are sued, you want to make sure that you have enough liability insurance. I would always recommend at least $300,000. I would not go lower than that on a property that you own as a landlord. I'm a landlord, and I would never go below that amount just to protect my asset. So in a landlord's policy, what's included? Well, the house is included. We've talked about that. The actual property. You want to make sure that you're getting the right amount of insurance on it. So you want to figure out your cost per square foot and then decide on what your dwelling coverage is going to be, whether that be $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, whatever the magic number is. That's what you want to be insuring the dwelling for, the actual structure and anything that's permanently attached to it. So faucets, sinks, lighting, all of that is included in the building itself. What is not included a lot of times is the appliances. So you want to make sure that the policy, find out in your particular policy if those items are included in the dwelling amount or whether you have to add personal property to the dwelling policy. Now, you can do that, and I do that all the time, where clients come to me and say, well, the average policy has $2,000 worth of personal property. That's not enough, really, when you think about it, to take into consideration the appliances that would be probably in a home. I mean, you'd probably be looking at least $1,000 to replace the things that are there that you're providing as a landlord, the oven, the dishwasher, the refrigerator, those type of things. And then anything else that's permanently in the building, like carpeting and those sorts of things. So I always recommend to my clients to really bump that $2,000 number up to at least 5, maybe 10, depending on the individual property that we are insuring. So again, another conversation you need to have with your agent so you know what the personal property amount should be in your dwelling property that you are renting to somebody else. Also included in that is going to be some loss of use, which is, if the person is displaced and you have to pay for it for something that happens in the home, then you have loss of use, which would pay for any expenses to that individual or you when there's a claim on a dwelling. You're also going to have some other endorsements that are available just like on a regular home. Water damage endorsement, foundation endorsement, glass endorsements where you have full glass. So again, you need to ask your agent, what are the endorsements available on this dwelling policy, dwelling fire policy, or landlord's policy. There's a bunch of different names in the industry for a rental property where you are the owner and you are renting it. Then there's also discounts available to these properties as well. So you need to ask about that. How old's the roof? A lot of carriers are giving discounts now for brand new roofs. So it's important to ask what discounts are available on a rental property. I'm a landowner, I own other properties, so am I getting a discount? I've got a brand new roof, so am I getting a discount? There's an alarm system in the home. Can I get a discount? So you got to ask all those questions along with all of your coverage questions. You need to be asking about the discount questions as well. So dwelling fire is just that. I always recommend that when I rent a property or when I own a property and I rent it, I always make it a mandatory requirement when I rent to any individual that they carry renter's insurance and they list me as the owner as an additional insured. And why I do that is because I'm adding another layer of protection in to protect my assets. So if something happens at a rental property, there's going to be renter's insurance that's going to kick in first. And I do always ask my clients to carry, if they can, at least $300,000, minimum $100,000. And so if something happens on that property and there's a suit that's brought, the renter's policy is going to be the first policy of defense. Then my policy as the landlord would be the second policy as defense to protect me. And I do make it mandatory that my renters list me as the additional insured or loss payee. So it's important to do that to protect you as the landlord, your assets, when you have something happen on a rental property. I always too like to ask the question to my renters, do they have dogs and what kind of dogs they do? There's a lot of dogs that are on the no dog list because they have either a bite history or their breed is predisposed to aggression. So there's a lot of dogs that are actually on the list from carriers where they won't insure a property if that particular dog is on the property. So I always ask my renters, do you have a dog? And what kind of dog is it? Has a dog ever bitten anybody? That could be a deal breaker for me because dog bites are very prevalent in the insurance industry. I think they're either 1 or 2 as far as the type of claims that are paid out on all property policies, because liability is on your home is where dog bite is covered. It's the personal liability that's on a home or really any type of property policy, including renter's insurance. So asking that question is important. and it could be a deal breaker depending on the type of dog, unfortunately. And I'm a dog lover. I have a service dog, and so it's a hard decision to make, but it's an important decision, especially if the dog has had any sort of history in biting, because the insurance carrier would be able to find that out and probably come back and cancel the policy because of that particular issue. So that's another question that you need to be asking your agent. So that's it for landlord's policies. They're pretty simple. They're not really a cheap policy, but you can get them affordable by, putting the discounts on them. And so it's an important part of the question is to ask about those discounts to get that premium where it's affordable for you. So make sure you're asking about that. And I really need to hear from you guys. I would love to hear if you've got any suggestions or comments that you would like to send me on any new videos that you are interested in. And I would really, really appreciate it if you would like this video, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. My channel is Carrie Devlin Scroggins on YouTube. I post everything there for KDS Insurance Services, as well as Carrie's Corner, my other business. So I really do hope to hear from you, and I hope these videos are helpful. Again, they are for your educational purposes only. I am not endorsing any carriers, and I'm not confirming any coverages. I'm just simply making this service available to you so you can become informed and understand the insurance policies and what happens in the insurance world. It can be a very confusing product to buy, and it's important that you're working with somebody, as I've said before, who understands insurance, who's licensed, and can answer the policies and develop the policies that you need, that best serves you. And the only way to do that is for your agent to ask you questions. If they're not asking you questions, specific questions about this, whatever it is, whether it's car insurance, home insurance, then they're not doing their job. So that's just an FYI for you. So I hope you have a great rest of the week. I am hoping to post another video at the end of the week. I'm still recovering from my surgery, so that's why I'm not in my normal space. But I hope to be back in there next week and working back on schedule, if you will. So hope you have a great rest of the week. God bless. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so very much for watching.